Hey you guys, thanks for joining me. December 12th of 2020, I started this channel, Veronica Says. I did it at the height of the pandemic. We were all in lockdown and I wanted a creative outlet while I was hanging out at home. I've always had a passion for fragrances, for makeup, for home decor, for gadgets, for reviews, for audiobooks, all sorts of things that I had plans to share with you on this channel. As I began to get comfortable filming more, I started with makeup and like makeup of the day and a scent of the day as the video format. And then, heard from my audience as the channel started to grow a bit that not everyone who was into fragrances was into the makeup part, especially my viewers who don't wear any makeup, and they were bored with those portions of the videos and asked that I separate them out. So I did that, and what happened is that the channel then developed more into a fragrance channel. I still had makeup videos posted as well here and there. Those videos didn't do very well. Either I'm not good at makeup, or people don't want to hear about makeup from me, or more than likely the audience that was attracted to the channel was there more for the fragrances than for the makeup, and that's totally fine. So after a lot of thought, I have decided that I'm going to have this channel focus completely on fragrance and smelling good, maybe even candles and so forth, because that's really what it has become over, let's say, the last 6 to 7 months or so. Like since the summertime forward, I have concentrated mostly on fragrances, which I still love and love along with you. Thank you to all of you that have subscribed and hung out with me and listened to me ramble on and on about the way that fragrances smell to me. For those of you that are interested in makeup, in home decor, home hacks, face hacks, things like that, things dedicated to looking good, be it yourself or your environment, I would invite you to join me on a second channel that I have started called Everyday Veronica. It's going to be casual, lots of get ready with me kind of videos where I'm just hanging out, putting my makeup on in the morning and chatting you through what I'm doing, sharing with you product reviews related to makeup and skincare and hair products and so forth, which I also love. I have just as much of a passion for that as I do for fragrance. Now, if you're not into that, I kindly ask for you to just hang out here with me on Veronica Says. I'd love to have over on Everyday Veronica those of you that are just really into that sort of thing. Makeup collections, makeup techniques, like I said, home decor, ways to decorate for the holidays even, anything along those lines. I'm also a fanatic of Amazon, shopping online in general, Walmart shopping, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, etc. Let me just go back to my big thank you. When I started this channel a year ago, I didn't know where it would go. I didn't know if I would have 5 subscribers the whole year, or if I'd ever reach 100. That seemed like such a lofty goal. And I learned so much along the way. It's been a great journey, and I thank you so very much for hanging out with me. If you clicked on the video, it's because you're interested in hearing my top 10 fragrances. The reason that I chose this topic to commemorate my 1-year anniversary is because that is the first video that I posted back on December 12th of 2020. So this video should be posting on December 12th of 2021 in honor of that 1 year. And do I still have the same top 10 or not? We know that over the past year, I have gone a little crazy with the perfume hauls. So I have a huge collection, and I continue to curate it, cull it, turn some over as I learn more about what I like, and also my tastes change and grow. So that said, I have a spoiler alert before I talk about my top 10. 7 of the 10 are the same as last year. And there were 3 that got bumped out for new ones. So shall we jump in? So I'll go through these fairly quickly. If you've watched my channel, you can predict what's going to be number 1 on this list and number 1 in my heart, probably forevermore. It is still by Jennifer Lopez. Yes, I have a secret dream of looking like Jennifer Lopez one day, and I wish I had J-Lo's money. I don't, but I can live vicariously through her and her fragrance. That's not why I have this fragrance, but I thought you would get a kick out of hearing that. I have this fragrance because it is universally appealing. I don't know anyone who doesn't at least like this fragrance. They may not love it or adore it as much as I do, but I haven't heard anyone that has tried this to say, I really don't like it, it's not appealing, or it offends me. So in that sense, this is one that I trust in very many situations. If I had to get rid of my entire collection and stick with one fragrance for life, I couldn't do that. Let's not pretend that it's going to be this one. But if someone made me, maybe it would be this one, because I think it can go from morning to night to every type of occasion imaginable, because it's such a clean, floral, fresh, uplifting, invigorating fragrance. I put this on and I feel young. I feel youthful. It is floral, it's green, it's fresh, it's happy, it's not complicated at all. It's a very, very simple fragrance, but this is one where there's beauty in simplicity. There's an Earl Grey tea note in here, there's a rice note, there's an apple note, there's sandalwood and florals in here. So it does have a touch of complexity, almost like as a far backdrop, but by and large, this is just a happy, clean fragrance, and this stays on my list. Another that is staying in my top 10 and going nowhere, and I don't predict it'll go anywhere in 2022, is Narciso, the white cube. This is the opposite of still in that it is very heavy and pungent. Pungent in that it can be overwhelming and even give you a headache if you're not ready for it, or if you wear it under the wrong conditions, like on a very moist or humid day. Does anyone else hate the word moist? Moist. It's so weird to say it on the tongue. Moist. Strange word. But yeah, on a humid day, hot in the summer, this can probably overwhelm. On a dry day, like a desert day, yeah, I would probably still rock this. It's gardenia and it's rose, a little bit of rose and musk. So for me, this is mostly gardenia and musk. It dries down woody with a cedar note. And I think there's even a little vetiver in here. And it is incredibly womanly and feminine to me. This is a regal royal fragrance to me, fit for when I'm feeling like I want to be queenly or Wonder Woman-ish or something like that. The third one that is staying squarely in my top 10, I don't care how much this costs. Yes, I do, because I'm going to buy it on sale. But I have to have it. And I have dupes of this. And the dupes are fine. They smell really great. In fact, they smell nearly identical to this, but I always want the original in my collection. It is Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. I don't care what people say about the longevity of this. I find for me, this lasts somewhere in the 4 to 6 hour range decently. So about a half a day, which is my minimum requirement to not be mad at a fragrance for its performance. I do agree with people that say for the retail price of this, which can shoot upwards of 400 plus for 100 ml. Don't go paying that, guys. Please find this on a discount site somewhere. That's a little crazy. Or if you have a cosmetics company store, which is owned by Estee Lauder, it will be in an outlet mall. Check that out. Cosmetics company store. I got this for over half off, which is still a crazy price. But this, I sprayed it on, and as I described in my video last year, it's like the heavens opened up. This is such a divine cherry, almond, boozy fragrance, and it's got a lot of sweetness in the base. I think it's tonka bean, and maybe there's vanilla in here and some other notes that give it a really beautiful, luscious sweetness. It's a sour cherry, but don't think of sour as like the candies that make your face do one of those numbers. It says sour cherry, but to me, it's a beautiful, sweet, delicious, luscious cherry. And I love the almond note in here. It's just gorgeous. It does something to me. It takes me somewhere, and I just can't be without this. So this is staying in the top 10 for sure. Now let's see what happens in 2022 with this one, but so far it's doing good. A fragrance that will absolutely stay in my collection for life and likely be in the top 10 for life or very close to that is AMARIGE from Givenchy. This one's been getting a lot of play from me this fall. You've seen it in a bunch of videos, so I apologize for the repeat on this and a few others that you're going to see in this video. I just adore this fragrance. I've been wearing it for over 20 years. I had a hard time with it when it first came out because I was a little immature to be wearing this at the time. This is an incredibly womanly fragrance. It has a lot of maturity to it, but not in a vintage way. This does not smell old-fashioned to me anyway. Maybe to someone who has a much younger nose, they may see this as way too mature for them. I can understand that. To me, I think it's just perfect, especially for this time in my life. As I'm filming this, I am 46, about to be 47 in a little over a month. And this is a beautiful white and yellow floral that dries down with this most gorgeous woodiness, like this woody, musky base that has a lot of depth and body to it. This is a fragrance with tremendous oomph. It owns the room when you wear this. And it's a powerhouse. My husband loves this. And he usually, if I say, go pick out a date night fragrance for me, he reaches for this 9 times out of 10 because he loves it so much. So this is the fragrance that I wear when I want to smell like that special woman. Another fragrance that has stood the test of time and is staying in my top 10. I know some folks don't get down with this. I'm okay with that. It's Chinatown from Bond No. 9. Yeah, I know. I've talked about this a lot this fall. Some people consider this a spring fragrance. Certainly the bottle would suggest that. I consider this, yeah, it'd be beautiful in spring or all year round, but definitely in the fall. This is a beautiful fall fragrance that has some florals in it, tuberose and gardenia mixed. Well, of course it's mixed. All the notes in a fragrance are mixed together. What sets this apart from me is it has a very prominent cardamom note. It's in the base of this fragrance, and so it permeates to me throughout the length of the projection and the sillage. However long those last in the air, you smell the cardamom and you smell some woody notes as well. So to me, the cardamom is the star player of this fragrance. I consider it spicy. I have incredibly great memories associated with this. In fact, you can check out the video from last year to hear the little story about this gorgeous fragrance. This is the second bottle for me, or maybe it's the third, maybe the second, and I just can't get enough of this. Another favorite that will probably never leave my top 10. I don't know, we'll see how the next year goes. It's Alien, and this is the Eau de Parfum concentration. I adore it. This was my wedding fragrance. This is one of the most beautiful jasmines I've ever laid my nose on. You get jasmine, amber. There are woody notes in here. I saw somewhere that there's ambergris in here. There are probably other notes that are not listed. And I just think this is a gorgeous composition. Some people think it smells like grape juice. Maybe. I don't get a whole lot of that. I get a lot of the jasmine and woodiness and like something just really beautiful and feminine about this and alluring. This is the one, to use the phrase, brings all the boys to the yard. No boys are coming in my yard, just my husband. But it brings him to my yard. He just adores this. And it drives him crazy when I put this on. I, in fact, have never had gentlemen, for all the years that I've worn this, tell me they don't like it. In fact, I get lots of compliments from gentlemen when I do wear this. And like I used to work in an office environment and so forth, people always just enjoyed this, women and men alike. But this does something to guys. I don't know, y'all. It's just true. Alien EDP. So I said at the top of the video that there were 3 fragrances that were bumped out. It's actually 4 as I'm looking over my list here. And one that got bumped out from last year's lineup is Victoria's Secret Very Sexy, which is still a beautiful fragrance of heavy florals and this deep sweetness. I mean, this is all kinds of sexy power right here. However, I found one that is even sexier than this, if you can believe that. and it is Borouj Gravity, which is a crowd pleaser in this house, drives my husband bananas. I'm looking up at these eagles flying overhead here, looking out the window in my bedroom here. So actually I'm smelling this, and maybe I guess it just depends on the mood, but I'm gonna stick with my decision and put this one in the top 10. Gravity. This sugar, there are woody notes, there is vanilla in here, so it's a really sweet woody fragrance, and a few viewers have detected a fruit note in here, and one of my peers here said the same thing. So maybe there's some fruit notes in here as well. I can't unsmell the hint of that now that others have suggested that. At least 3 people have. And listen, you can't always trust the way that I smell things. I have a very bizarre sense of smell and quite dulled, I think, in comparison to most people. Maybe a factor of age. I don't know. But I just think this is a gorgeous fragrance, really feminine, beautiful, plays really nicely on the skin. It smells great out of the nozzle, but once it settles on skin, it's even more alluring and enticing. One from last year that is getting bumped off the list, but not far down. Like, it's still up there, just not in the top 10. And it's Cannabis Santal from Fresh. This is mostly a patchouli and cannabis note fragrance. There's some plum and chocolate in here. I'm trying to pull the top off and it doesn't come with the top. This is like a superhero fragrance for me. I always imagine myself in some all like catsuit, head to toe leather outfit, you know, on a motorcycle chasing bad guys in a movie somewhere. This fragrance makes me feel some kind of way. It's actually marketed towards males. It's supposed to be a masculine fragrance, and it is masculine, but I love it. But it has been replaced with something that I consider to be very feminine. Terracotta Le Parfum, which I have several backups for. This was one that had to grow on me. This is what you call a grower fragrance. When I first tried this, I was like, what is everyone so excited about? And as it settled down on my skin and I tried it more, I really grew to just adore this. This has tiara flower, which is pretty prominent in the opening phase of this fragrance. There's coconut, there's orange blossom, there's ylang-ylang. I call this my ultimate like fancy resort fragrance, because when I put this on, I feel like I'm somewhere tropical in my beautiful evening sundressy kind of outfit, flowing dress, getting ready to go out to a nice dinner at a resort. Absolutely gorgeous. Cannot be without this. Have some backups. Now we get into incredibly controversial territory, because I'm not sure I mean what I'm going to say with these last 2 fragrances. So bear with me. Last year I had Angel Share from Kilian in the top 10. I adore this fragrance. Can't live without this. I think it is one of the most beautiful fall, winter, cinnamony, boozy, gourmand kind of fragrances. I get compliments when I wear this. My family loves this. I have a backup of this ridiculously expensive fragrance. So I still adore this, and I hope I don't regret it when I say that one that has taken over its place, and they're not alike, but we're rounding things out here, guys. From Carolina Herrera, Saffron Lazuli. I've thought about this and I adore this fragrance. Maybe slightly more than Angel Share, like just a hair more, or maybe they're tied and I'm just choosing this one to be controversial for this video. I don't know, but I can't get this one out of my mind. It is a really luscious leather fragrance. It smells like a leather coat. I always talk about this smelling like a leather coat with the scent of like spearmint gum and juicy fruit, the banana flavored one. Like if you had those 2 kinds of gum in an inside pocket of your coat and your body heat warmed up the flavors so that you could smell them, and it mixed together with the smell of your beautiful leather coat and maybe a hint of perfume in the background. Sounds bizarre, but that's what this smells like to me. And it's unique. I think it's unique and beautiful, and I can't get enough of it. So Saffron Lazuli bumps out Angel Share just ever so slightly, like think. Like if this were a curling match, no, in curling, no, they don't bump each other out. If we were playing pool, this ball might have just bumped this one just a little bit over. That's all. And rounding out the top 10 for 2021, I really cannot believe I'm about to say this because I'm not sure that I believe it myself, but it's true for today. Today's video, we're gonna roll with the list that I created. My beloved Fracas Fracca by Robert Piguet, which is a tuberose bomb. This is the queen of all tuberose fragrances. A deep, luscious, buttery tuberose that I adore and am on bottle number 2 or 3 of and have a backup of. This is, again, pool table, guys. Think about a pool table. Is ever so slightly bumped out by, ta-da, Sandal Ruby, also from Carolina Herrera, the confidential line, like Saffron Lazuli. This also has a lot of tuberose. It doesn't have a lot of tuberose. It has a tuberose note. It has a lot of cinnamon in it and it smells like cinnamon and wet tobacco and leather all mixed together. I haven't even looked up the notes to tell you that. I know it's got cinnamon in it and is just one of the most powerful fragrances of the year. My husband loves this. I love it. I have a backup bottle of it. We have fought over whose shelf this gets to sit on because it is so amazing. Absolutely for a special occasion or for when you want to feel like you want to own the room. This is not a casual fragrance. This is not one that you spray on to go, you know, get some groceries. Don't go picking up eggs and milk in this. I mean, you can, but folks at the store might be like, where's she going? Or where's he going? This is one that you put your ball gown on. You know, all those ball gowns that we've been wearing to all those galas, fundraisers, evening events, you know, in 2021. Yeah, those events is what you might wear this to, or that date night in cool weather where you just want to be va-va-voom. Absolutely gorgeous. Sandal Ruby, one of the main winners of the year. Hope you enjoyed my top 10. What do you think of the list? Did I bump off the right ones? Am I going to regret it? Let's see what happens in 2022. Thanks again for being with me this whole year, or whenever in the year you happen to jump on the Veronica Says train. I so appreciate you. Again, if you're into this, makeup, lipstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow, eyebrows, hair products, dry shampoo, skincare products, serums, moisturizers, join me on Everyday Veronica. See you over there or see you back here or both. Take care, friends.